A recent controversy was the repeal of net neutrality. They tell us that big corporations like Comcast and Verizon have too much power if the government doesn't regulate the internet. On the other hand, giants of the web like Google and Facebook support the government intrusion. It's a real clash of titans. To understand what this is about, you have to first understand the nature of regulation. When regulation is created, the entities that fall under that regulation react to it. Some of those reactions are good and some are bad. A good example are bankruptcy laws. They were set up to help struggling business owners, and they do, but they also help the rich protect their wealth. They call it unintended consequences, but sometimes you have to wonder if they were truly unintended. There are always two groups who advocate for new regulations: the people who want to make things better and the people who want to enrich themselves. Let's talk about the first group. Their intentions are good, but that's why they'll never stop, because there's always something that could be better. Look at it this way. You decide one day that it's time to spruce up the living room. You go out and buy a new couch. But then all of a sudden, the side table looks a little dirtier. So then you decide to buy a new side table. And now the coffee table looks a little worse. You replace that, and then the curtains look dingier. Then you have to paint the walls, replace the trim, buy a new rug, and $10,000 later you realize that the floors look horrible. But before you decided to fix things up, the floors were fine. That's the nature of regulation from the honest to God, I want to make the world a better place types. They can't stop, because every new regulation has led them to notice another problem that they are then compelled to fix. The second group is the one we hear people talk about quite a bit, the lobbyists. People hired by businesses to influence regulators for the advantage of those businesses. Their desire for regulations are purely based on making more money. We all understand this group. Now, combine the first group's desire and never-ending drive to improve the world through regulations with the ability of the second group to influence the regulators through money and power, and we get things like net neutrality. Group 1, the fair-minded, are fighting for internet traffic to be treated equally because they believe that it helps the little guy. Group 2, the biggest traffic movers, are only interested in retaining their dominance. To them, it's about remaining the big guy, which can only be accomplished by fighting for the little guy. How convenient is that, right? If you don't pay enough attention or understand all the players involved, you should always err on the side of less regulation. Or before you know it, the big guy will have you fighting his fight in the name of the little guy. And that's the simple truth.
Thanks for watching. Please consider becoming a supporting member of Blue Collar Logic. Look for the link in the description and give what you can.